All right, welcome back. And it's time for us to get into a very interesting conversation. And the last couple of days, there's been a lot of talk, well, not just the last couple of days, last couple of months and weeks. There's been a lot of talk about, legalization of the use of marijuana, the growing and the cultivation and the use of marijuana. And this conversation has gone on for years, but it's ramped up, quite a bit in the last few weeks. And Parliament had a number of readings of the bill. And finally, there was a third reading of the bill, and there was a vote in Parliament, and the bill was passed. Now, subsequent to that, there has to be, the putting together of the LI and all of those things. Those will decide the operation, of the bill once it is signed into law. And so all of this has been going on. Let me just quickly read for you a Citi newsroom story that we have that talks about Parliament passing the bill into law. Now, on citinewsroom.com, it says, Parliament passes NACOC bill granting licenses for cannabis cultivation. Now, it says here, Parliament has passed the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023, bringing significant changes to the cultivation of cannabis for industrial and medicinal purposes. Remember that we already had a law in place that said that we could cultivate for medicinal and industrial purposes. But then there was also a Supreme Court ruling that seemed to have taken away some, general powers to be able to do that. But now this has gone to Parliament. Now, the amendment bill grants the Ministry of Interior the authority to issue licenses for the cultivation of cannabis, thereby enabling the utilization of this plant for various beneficial applications. This development comes after the Supreme Court invalidated provisions within the Narcotics Control Commission Act that permitted the cultivation of specific types of cannabis for medicinal and industrial purposes. Now, the court contended that these provisions contravene Article 106 of the 1992 Constitution. And now, despite an appeal filed by the Office of the Attorney General, the Supreme Court dismissed the review application in a narrow 5-4 decision. During the parliamentary debates surrounding the amendment of the bill, members of Parliament emphasized the importance of cultivating certain types of cannabis. Please take note of that. They underscored the potential benefits that can be derived from harnessing the properties of cannabis for industrial and medicinal uses. Now, with the passage of the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Bill 2023, the Ministry of Interior will now have the responsibility of issuing licenses for cannabis cultivation, facilitating the growth of this industry and opening avenues for further exploration of its potential. And so that's the latest update on this matter. Frema, your initial thoughts regarding what we just read?
So I think that what we are looking at today is cannabis. Is it a gold mine or a nation wrecker? For me, I think that almost everything comes with side effects.
Yes.
Comes with some disadvantages and advantages. But what you do is you juxtapose the advantages against the advantages, weigh the
pros
options,
and cons,
exactly, and know what works better. Because I don't think that, to a very large extent, I think the conversation has been for those who think we should not look at legalizing cannabis for whatever reason, is the fact that, the mental health issue associated with this. And so people are smoking weed and having issues out of it. Now, in 2020, I did a documentary on cannabis. Cannabis, hemp, marijuana, what is what, you know. And a doctor from Maryland that I spoke with said that if you even are smoking the correct streak of marijuana, you will not go crazy. Unless it is laced with something else. And most of the time, this is what happens. People combining all kinds of things. Now, let's even leave that, because we also know that the THC levels in some species of cannabis is quite high. If you're not careful, that's what will give you the high effect and all that. But can we not pay particular attention to that? Because people are taking alcohol, people are getting drunk, they become public nuisances. But alcohol is legalized. The consumption of alcohol is permitted. You know, people are taking, with all the health issues associated with nicotine, people are still taking cigarettes.
In fact, alcohol is one of them. Ghana has one of the high. We are in the high bracket in terms of consumption.
People are still using cigarettes. It's allowed. Why are we not now, you know, paying particular attention, put regulations together, ensure its implementation, make it very difficult to access, and then on a broader scale, look at the other economic benefits that we'll get from cannabis. Let's not forget that it is not all the species of cannabis that can be smoked.
So, so let me come from a bit of a biochemistry background. Now, we have what we call psychoactive compounds, right? And that's what you made reference to, THC. Psychoactive compounds exist in some types of cannabis, okay, particularly the sativa, indica sativa. Now, the other types of cannabis plant, the cannabis plant.
With the relics.
Yes, you have all these other different ones. They come with, you know, you have the cannabidiol, that's the CBD. CBD, right? So CBD is a relaxant. It's a relaxation one. So it's very different from the psychoactive. You see. So again, we're looking at the use, when you talk about medicinal, painkillers, all those kinds of things. These are the active compounds.
Anorexics are using it and all that. You know, so some cancer patients are using it elsewhere.
You know, so I think that, and then beyond even the medicinal use, there's a whole industry, a huge industry for different types of the cannabis plant, you know. So it's not just the psychoactive, which has been highlighted and made
like that is
whole,
all
it's like
everybody's
mind is on that.
The moment you start weed, you're going crazy, and if you smoke weed, you're going crazy. But I think that we can, you know, handle that differently, you know, and then also look at the broader benefits of cannabis. We have a video on cannabis conversation. Let's take a look at it and come back. Although mental health experts say there is an established link between marijuana use and mental illness or behavioral change, others believe this is not enough for the substance to remain illegal in an era where several countries are exploring the potential of the plant for economic gains.
I must say, until recently, the Western world claimed there was no such link. Even so, they recognized that there was a link between behavior problems and marijuana use. But frank psychosis, that is where they thought there was no link. But now they have accepted that there is a link. We have recognized it all along, that there's a link between marijuana use and mental disorders.
If something is harmful, they link it up with psychosis. So unconsciously, they are linking up with harm. Unconsciously. I'm saying that, let's talk science. If it's about harm, alcohol is more harmful than marijuana. If it's about tobacco, tobacco is more harmful than marijuana. If it's about harm, then let us schedule the harm and deal with the harm. So that, in other words, if you're going to deal with the harm related to the substance, then it's not prison. You shouldn't be taking them to prison. You should send them to hospital.
I speak on mostly medical cannabis. Now, what's out there, the recreational ones, the levels of THC in there, I can't speak on. Yeah. I understand that the strains here in Ghana may be very potent, and that people who smoke it really may get very euphoric. And it's possible that they're lined with other substances. The medical cannabis, no. It cannot let you go crazy.
To many, marijuana, hemp, and cannabis are all the same. For the purposes of this discussion, let's look at what each of these is. To start with, these are not names for one substance, and so it is wrong to use the terms interchangeably.
Plants are grouped in a certain way. So for cannabis, if you talk about the morphology, the class is called Hammermelidae. Then we have the species called Cannabis sativa, or Cannabis indica, or Cannabis ruderalis. And they contain the oil. So those of us, for example, who call for decriminalization, we have been with, that is why we say, because the plant, the definition is not Cannabis sativa. The definition in the law is cannabis species. So if somebody is growing ruderalis and you come and see the palmate leaves, people sometimes you think that it is cannabis. But it is not. It is sometimes, yes, it is cannabis. But it is being used for ropes and fiber. It is even edible. Whereas the other two cannabis, the other type of cannabis, they call them drug cannabis. Because they are the ones that people can use and change into marijuana.
Right, so that is it. You have the experts speaking to this. Now, earlier we saw Dr. Akwesio say, talking about psychosis and the fact that there is a behavioral, there's a link between behavioral change and the use of marijuana and all that. Now, I say that the same way that we are handling alcohol, cigarettes, tobacco, and even now, look, tramadol is there. Tramadol is not supposed to be an abusive substance in that sense.
It's a painkiller.
But people are abusing it. How are we dealing with that? If we say that because people are dealing with, people abusing tramadol, let's ban tramadol. What about the sick? What about the people who are using it for its intended purpose?
When my dad was in his, maybe the last few weeks, it was actually prescribed tramadol because he was in so much pain.
Exactly.
So much pain.
Look,
but we ourselves even just took him off the tramadol because it made him too sleepy, and too drowsy. Do you see that thing? But it's a painkiller.
Thank you very much. So I think that, look, the benefits that can be derived from cannabis, from marijuana, is enormous. And it's about time we pay attention to some of these things and then look at how we would deal and manage with the negativity or the abuse aspect that will come from it. Look at the cosmetics industry. Look at ropes. I mean, we had Dr. Akwesi Sapon mention this.
Let's ask people what they think, right? So give us a call. What do you think? Is it a nation wrecker or a gold mine? Cannabis, a nation wrecker or a gold mine? Give us a call. Let's hear from you. The phone lines are open now. It's 0204-447-033. Let's know what your thoughts are about this whole conversation on cannabis. I do realize that some people are still very cautious. It's like, hey, are we sure what we are doing? You see the scripture that came today. Well, there's a way that seems right, but it's, and all that. But
almost everything, comes with some.
Everything, not almost everything.
Well, comes with some side effects,
including water.
And exactly.
Yes.
And look, let's look at
too much water can cause problems.
Let's look at the various classifications of the uses of cannabis or the hemp, whatever, which one you want to go for. Now, in terms of textiles, we are looking at clothing, diapers, handbags, shoes, fine fabrics, denim. In terms of industrial textiles, we are looking at ropes. When the ships come to dock at the
at the harbor.
At the harbor.
The rope that is used is coming from the plant.
Coming out of hemp.
From the cannabis plant.
Exactly. Then canvas, tabs, carpeting, netting, caulking, molded parts. We can also get paper, I mean, cardboard, packaging bags, and all these are coming from one plant.
Yeah. No, we'll show this to you, in a little bit. But we have Emmanuel from Konyako. Hello, Emmanuel. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Emmanuel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you so much.
What are your thoughts? Goldmine or Nation Wrecker?
Hello.
Hi. What are your thoughts? Is it a goldmine or a Nation Wrecker?
Oh, I think it's a nation record because looking at our situation in Ghana, when we are talking about enforcement about things that has to do with the youth is very low because we have leaders who don't really pay attention to some of these certain things.
Yeah.
You understand? If you look at other countries that are dealing with to make it as a gold mine, we have laws enforcement. We can make the laws, but the enforcement here in Ghana is very low, and it will go against us. Looking at Madam was making an emphasis on tramadol, which is a drug for painkiller, but people intend in abusing it. The sellers also find it as a business profitable thing, and they don't look at the good aspect of it as a nation. And so I think it's a nation record.
Iman, let me ask you a question. Do you think alcohol has wrecked this nation?
Okay, so if you're looking at alcohol as a nation, I would say that looking at the assumption about alcohol, it doesn't, I see it as something which does not really...
Does not really do what?
It affects the society.
It doesn't affect the society?
Yes.
Emmanuel, we're losing you. I don't know if you can position yourself well. All right, so Emmanuel? Okay, we're having challenges with Emmanuel's line, but he was making a point that he thinks that alcohol cannot be put in the same category as cannabis, which I think is not necessary. It's an emotional position he's taken, not necessarily a scientific position that he's taken. Because, again, like, let me quote Mr. Chrissy Sapon. He said that if we want to talk science, then alcohol is even more dangerous than cannabis. You know, and unfortunately, what has happened, okay, like with a lot of things, is that stigma has been built over the years so much around cannabis that everybody is acting not based on science, but based on the emotional stigma around it, that it must be, you know, a certain way.
And you know, David, another thing is sometimes it's very saddening, you know, that we have, as a people, accepted that we you know our problem, we can't implement. You know our problem, we can't implement. And we are poor because of this behavior.
Yeah, it's true.
We are lazy because of this behavior. So things that we need to get out.
We don't do.
And, you know, and we have accepted
keep
it. That's
the narrative.
my worry.
Yeah, we keep the narrative.
You know,
that,
in this country, we can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, in this country, we can't. And that is why we are hungry.
Why
can't we do it?
Why not push our leaders to say, implement the law,
exactly.
enforce the law?
Why do we say that the laws are there, but I know that implemented? So why did we create the laws?
the laws, yeah.
You understand? Somebody should get up and work.
Do the work.
And let's stop accepting the fact that, you know, as far as implementation is our problem, you know, as far as, and yet we send leaders into offices to go and implement the thing. We use our hard-earned taxes to pay them, and then we sit back and say that we know they won't do the work, and we are not doing anything.
All right, we have a caller from Odumasi. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name, please.
Yeah, I'm Malik from Kumewu Bodomasi.
Oh, Kumewu Bodomasi. Welcome.
Kumewu Bodomasi.
Yes,
Malik.
all right. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
This is a very good news for Africa and Ghana.
Okay, why do you say so?
Tell you, yeah, our freedom, African freedom starts here from Ghana. Yeah, this is a very good legislation that our lawmakers have made.
Okay.
I like it. And I support them 100%.
Why?
Yeah, I support them because it has been, what do you call it, a whole challenge for the whole nation for a while. And we thank God for this time round. They have gone to Parliament and then enacted this, what do you call it, law.
Okay.
It is a freedom day for Africa. And our freedom starts here in the center of, the world, Ghana. We are going to do it. I'm going for the license. I will soon get there and then get my license and start growing it.
All right.
This is a very good day. Even I've never tasted before, but I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
God bless you.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling.
Okay.
All right. So let's show you the many uses of cannabis, the cannabis plant. Let's show you the many uses. So there you have it on your screen. All right. We're talking. From us talking us through the uses earlier. So you can see there. Take a screenshot of it. Okay. So you can have it and use it, for yourself. Right. So you can see there. Look at textiles. Then we have industrial textiles, we have paper, we have foods, we have building material, we have body care. Right now, until this time, I only knew about body care and I think the textiles part. But look at all these other things, even building materials.
Yes.
Even building materials.
And even with this one, we've not even paid attention to the medicinal use.
No.
This one is just industrial.
This is just industrial.
Okay.
There's no
so
medicine here.
So now think of the CBD oil.
Yes.
And that we can eat that as well. And also as painkillers.
Yes.
I mean, these are serious, pain relief oils.
Yes.
Minus the other drugs that we have cannabis inside, And I think that it's I don't want to use the word in my mind, but I think that for want of a better word in quotes, we tend to be a bit shallow when we just limit the conversation to smoking.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because David, if you have acres of cannabis farm, how many acres are you going to smoke? do you get it?
And that's even assuming that the one that the species that you're growing is even psychoactive.
Let's even say that you are growing sativa.
Yeah.
You, David, as the farmer, how many plots of sativa can you smoke? Do you get it? And my point is, can we now pay attention to, even if we are not manufacturing stuff, if we are not creating stuff, the export aspect of it to countries who are seriously using this for their industrial and stuff.
Yeah. We have Elijah from Saboba. Elijah, good morning.
Good morning, Reverend David.
Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Fine, thank you.
All right, talk to us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is both.
It's both. Okay.
Yeah, because
why?
Nothing is bad in itself or good in itself.
Okay.
It
Interesting.
depends on the usage.
It depends on the... Okay.
And I think it's not only cannabis that people take to get high. There are a lot of other things. I've been working with addicts.
Okay.
And there are a lot of other things that they take to get high.
Yeah.
And I think instead of whether it is legalized or not, people have access to it. So we should rather channel our efforts to sensitizing them on the productivities and the negative uses of cannabis.
Yeah.
So it can be good for us based on how we will use it.
Okay.
It can be a nation record. Like you were asking someone about alcohol.
Yeah.
And I would say that alcohol kills more people than marijuana do.
Yeah.
And because people have licenses to operate.
Yeah.
But because they have license, we don't have other people that are regulating how it is used.
Yeah.
Because alcohol also in itself has a lot of positive use. You can use it to brush your teeth. It can help with cavity. You can use it to drench your wound.
Yeah.
But why would you like to drink it?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
it could be both, depending on how we regulate it.
Yeah. Elijah, thank you very much for calling us. Have a good day. Let's talk off air. All right. So yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, I mean, he makes a very, very good point. And I think for us, he's even summarized the issue and simplified it for us, Everything can be bad or good depending on how you use it.
Look, today people are
don't run away from it just because there can be a bad use for it.
Why are we taking the lazy approach?
Yeah.
Do you get it? Why do we have the laws and we are failing to implement it? Why? And why do we always accept the fact that, you know, in this country we have issues? I really have a problem with that statement.
Yeah.
We cannot accept it. We can't make it an okay thing that, you know, the laws will come, but they won't do it.
Yeah.
And we've accepted that.
Yeah.
That is why we are where we are.
Yeah.
Today, people are buying glue and they are sniffing.
Yeah.
Is glue supposed to be sniffed? Do you get it? People will do anything.
The
if we do
abuse-
not, people are abusing cough mixture.
Yes.
They are taking cough mixtures in
in
overdoses because they will get high.
I was in shock when I heard that you go to certain parties and every table has cough mixture on it. And it's like, cough mixture? What is cough mixture doing here? And did the people all come with COVID or what? Do you see that thing?
And
but there's cough mixture on the table.
What for?
What for?
What for?
You know, and it's shocking to see that it's like we condone the abuse of certain things, but it's like we have laws and we should enforce laws.
We are acting like ostriches. Like Elijah mentioned, who doesn't know where to go and get marijuana?
Yeah.
People know, the police knows.
Yes, yes.
Do you know what my point?
Oh,
so
yes.
why are we pretending? Why are we acting like ostriches?
And
why are we not
for me,
streamlining
that's
things?
the biggest problem. The pretense in the system, you know. Then we allow stigma to foster. Then we also use the stigma to continue to propagate the fear and say, oh no, we can't because we are this and we are not anything.
Because
look,
in
you know the number of countries, yes.
In 2023, when we talk of cannabis and we raise the conversation of cannabis,
yes.
it shouldn't just be about smoking.
Yes, no, it shouldn't.
Or abuse.
No, it shouldn't.
Let's deal with that aspect, you know, that challenge that comes with it, and look at the bigger picture of what we can get for the economy.
Yeah.
Look, we have fertile soils in Ghana.
Yes.
What if we are planted? Go to Swaziland. They've made their country out of cannabis.
Look, Frank, in Tamale, you want to talk to us? What do you think? Nation Wrecker or Gold Mine?
It's a gold mine.
Okay, why do you say so?
I've been fasting and praying over the years.
You've been fasting and praying.
Parliament and,
Then heavens have opened to you.
You've been fasting and praying about this matter. Okay.
About this day to come for the government of Ghana to see the need to legalize this stuff for we the youth in the country to take advantage of it. I'm a farmer and I've been trying to go commercial.
Okay.
But most of the crops we are growing up north here, means and sorghum and the rest, it's becoming very difficult to cultivate it.
Okay.
But when I read about this marijuana or cannabis, I don't know how to put it, the importance, the economic difference.
Yeah.
So no, if the country will legalize this thing, some of we, the young guys in the country, will take advantage of this thing and go into serious commercial farming. So I would say it's a gold mine. The Parliament of Ghana did yesterday or day before yesterday, I think they have created a billionaire in me. That is my vision. This thing will make me a billionaire by the grace of Almighty God. We're going to go get the license and go seriously into farming this thing and employ most of the young guys in the north here. We are struggling. Struggling. But with this thing, it will not be time consuming or money like the other crops we are farming here. If you go into it with small money, you can go far.
All right. Thank you very much, Frank.
Means to be farming 1 acre of means is a problem for us. 1 acre of yam is a problem. But this cannabis, by the grace of Almighty God, will use it, will take advantage of it and be billionaires in the country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Frank. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for calling us. Now, look, let me give you the number of the countries that have legalized. Okay, so we have countries such as Canada, and this is not all. This is just some. Canada, United States, Mexico, Argentina, Belize, Colombia, Costa Rica, Chile, Ecuador, Jamaica, Uruguay, Czech Republic, Luxembourg, Malta, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain. Some of the countries you want to go to and you want to run away from Ghana and go to. It's legal there. Israel, Lesotho, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Thailand, among others. These are countries that have already legalized. And Ghana can potentially, every year, make a minimum of $3 billion from this.
Minus IMF.
That's what we went to collect from the
Minus
IMF.
IMF.
That's what we went for. That's what we went to go and get from the IMF.
Look, David.
You can make it.
See,
3 billion. Just from cannabis, every year.
Government has a policy, planting for food and jobs.
Yeah.
What are they planting? Where is the food? Why are we not now turning attention to some of these commercial crops? You understand? We are exporting cocoa. What if we also add cannabis to the whole thing?
Be a major exporter.
If we are not able to manufacture products out of it. But I must say that people are doing that already. Because I spoke within the documentary, I spoke with Ghana Standards Authority. They said, yes, people come in with cosmetics that has this, but sometimes they have to reject them because if they know the product is illegal. So then it makes the whole conversation. But having marijuana in cosmetics will not be used for smoking.
No.
So what about those who want to grow their hair? You understand? Look, this is a conversation
as far back as 1990, I knew that hair products had hemp in it. You know, marijuana in it, and it makes your hair grow well.
Beautiful texture.
You know, so honestly, let's
the whole conversation
grow up.
to smoking.
That's what I say.
No,
let's
we are
grow
being
up.
too shallow with it. People are smoking it.
Let's grow up.
But we can do better with that. So
people sniff glue. That's not its use, but they sniff glue.
Let's open up the conversation. Now, we've started from somewhere with Parliament passing the amendment bill, and let's now deal with the harmful aspect of it, with those who are smoking it and lacing it with other things and all. But we can always start from somewhere, and this is the conversation that has begun. We can further explore this. You're still live on Breakfast Daily. We'll be right back.